Yes, my dear friend, welcome back to the channel. This is Salon's Blog. A very good afternoon to you wherever you are around the globe, especially on the continent of Africa, in Europe, in America, Canada, Australia, right here in Asia with me. Also, you're highly welcome, dear friends. It is in the evening, but you in Africa and in Europe is in the afternoon. Dear friends, hot afternoon for you right now. I understand. And so my package for you this afternoon is also hot. Oh yes, I am fully prepared. Tactical analysis. Westham Chelsea. The game that Chelsea played over the weekend, Saturday, that ended 3-0. One of our best performances of the season so far. Yes. 5 games played, 10 points, 11 goals scored, 5 conceded. Away win, and it's a derby for that matter. London derby away win game. 3 points for Chelsea, dear friends. Tactical analysis. West Ham, Chelsea. Shall we get started? I am fully prepared for you this afternoon. This is a hot lunch. Dear friend, come on, let's go. Chelsea completely dominated West Ham at their own home. Mainly to Maresca's checkmate. Oh yes, mainly it was due to Maresca's checkmate. In this episode, I will talk specifically about Chelsea's build-up, Chelsea's out-of-positional play, and how exactly Chelsea dominated the game. Dear friend, those are the 3 fundamental areas that I'll be delving into in this analysis. Let's get started. You see, Chelsea's build-up is a massive form of control. Our build-up is a massive form of control. And I'll be using A and B, or Team A and Team B in this scenario. If Team A can successfully force the opponent to come into their half to press, and Team B has the capacity to consistently play through Team A, that is control. Chelsea did exactly that against West Ham United, dear friends. You see, our main build-up pattern, Chelsea's main build-up pattern was 4 plus 1, that is a goalkeeper. And you will see it soon in the picture on your screen. 4 plus 1, which is 5. That's the 4 plus the 1 goalkeeper, making it 5. We had many different variations in our build-up. We've had many different variations in our build-up play. You see, the theme in our build-up was numerical superiority. Chelsea's numerical superiority at every given moment that we have the ball, or that we are building up. Rotations and spacing. You cannot check the pictures below. The rotational play of the players and the spacing between them was on point. Now, the idea is to always build up with numerical superiority in mind. That was Maresca's status. The first image that you can see on your screen is a good example of this. West Ham are pressing with 3. Chelsea used Sanchez to form a temporal 3-2. Making it 5. With Cucurella receiving, this means that we have extra players, but only one on field with goalkeeper acting. With a goalkeeper acting as +1. In other examples, you will notice this same theme of always having the advantage in numbers. All good build-ups incorporated in this. You see, a good build-up should accommodate for errors. A good build-up of play should accommodate errors. Means that as human, there will surely be some shortfalls in our play. There will be some errors, some mistakes in our play. With our spacing and numerical superiority, we made it so our players could easily become compact and press immediately when or if there were any errors. I hope you are following me. Sanchez did really well in detecting when not to play out. Oh yes, he did very well in detecting that when not to play out. When West Ham committed lots of men forward, he doesn't play the ball from behind. He will go long, and going long, he makes sure that his delivery is on point. You see, this helped massively in cutting out mistakes in our build-up, as we didn't have much at all. We didn't have much mistakes. Dear friends, follow me. As you can see on the screen, like I show you, Summer was taxed. Western player Summer was taxed with Tosin and Fofana. Tosin and Fofana, they were taxed to handle Summer. Kudus with Enzo and Cowell, and Bowen Cucurella mainly. However, our spacing is excellent, so our players receive ball with time. Non-ball recipients have enough space to move, and consistently the free man is found. The free man is either Nicola Jackson or Cole Palmer. Dear friends, in possession, I started with a build-up play. Now we are in possession. Whenever Chelsea is in possession of the ball, this is what happens. Dear friends, the game plan was to circulate the ball in the middle to force West Ham out and manufacture transitions. Yeah. When we could not do that, we set up 3-2-5. What I like with our plan, was exploiting how aggressive West Ham's fullbacks were. Yeah. You see, our wingers were tasked with dragging the forwards forward. Our wingers, they were tasked with dragging our fullbacks higher up. They were tasked with dragging the fullbacks of West Ham higher up, and the strikers and the eights. Get it very clear. Our wingers were tasked with dragging West Ham fullbacks higher up, and our strikers and our number 8, which is in this case Enzo Fernandez, were tasked with exploiting the spaces that were created. They were now tasked to exploit the spaces that were created. This is predominantly why we saw less run-ins behind from our wingers. Yeah. Unlike in the previous games, we saw less run-in with our wingers, unlike the previous games. And more dropping deep to receive the ball. It wasn't always the case, though, as the 8, that's Enzo Fernandez, was sometimes came wide, dropped deep, and forced the fullbacks forward to play the wingers in behind. Overall, we had a lot of rotations that made things difficult for West Ham. Overall, we've had a lot of rotations that made it difficult for West Ham. They never quite knew when to follow Jackson. I'm sorry. See, while I was praying this, I was laughing myself. Because the truth is that if you watch the game, they never knew when to follow Jackson or not. That is where Jackson always caught them off guard. They never knew when to follow Jackson or not. When to follow our wingers, our aides. When they drop plus being too passive in central areas, watch Samaval for Jackson's second goal. Samaval and Jackson's second goal. I will not be able to show the videos here. You can watch the videos on other networks if you care to. Watch the second goal of Nicola Jackson. That is a typical example. Yeah. Samaval and Jackson's second goal. Watch how unattentive they were for Jackson's first as well. They were caught off guard with the Jackson's first goal as well. You see, Maresca watched them, saw the weaknesses of a new team and exploited it beautifully. Could not have asked for more. No. Every team has a weakness. It's about exploiting what you can. Every team has a weakness. It's about exploiting what you can. I would have wished that we played Arsenal yesterday. I would have wished that Chelsea had played Arsenal yesterday. Man City. We played Man City too early. First game of the season. I would have wished that we played either Arsenal or Man City yesterday. Now that we are beginning to see our players in this kind of shape. Yeah. Dear friends. Now, we started with our build-up play. We now finished with our possession, right? No, we just treated what? We started with build-up play. We were in possessions, right? Okay, now out of possession, what do we do? Remember, we started with build-up play and we got to possessions. Now, when Chelsea is out of possession, what happens? From goal kicks, Chelsea press in a passive 4-4-2. From goal kick, we press in a passive 4-4-2 shape, aggressive in the center. Once the ball is with the goalkeeper, Sanchez, if you observe, he likes to give the ball straight away to either Enzo dropping deep to receive it, or Casado is right there. Sometimes Cucurella. At the center, he doesn't pass it to the left wing or the right wing. Most often. The strikers were tasked with blocking off central lanes and forcing Westham to the flanks. Given Westham had the overload in the first line, it was a difficult job for Palmer and Jackson on it. Because Westham, we've already forced them to the wings. Now, Jackson and Palmer now, when they received the ball, it was much more difficult. The strikers were tasked with blocking off the central lanes. And so whenever they get to receive the ball, it was more difficult because they already have men around them. Forcing Westham to the flanks, giving Westham had the overload in the first line. Okay, it was a difficult job for Palmer and Jackson. Note that carefully. All right? And then Casado was tasked with the two central midfielders. Moise Casado alone had two central midfielders to work on. While Sancho and Madueke positioned themselves to block central lanes, but quickly jumped on the wing backs of Westham when the ball went to them. It is all about smart play. It was just about smart play. I don't know whether they use computer. Chelsea's play against Westham was a smart play. Don't ever think that Westham came in poorly or unprepared. No. It was what Chelsea did. Now, this worked as Westham lacked any ideas on how to break us down when they had possession, which resulted in long balls. So now you get it. When we are out of possession, this is what happens. We now we get to 4-4-2 formation shape, aggressive in the center. Casado alone, you see, when people are talking about Casado, his performance, I also have a special video to do on Casado. He actually played a game, man of the match game on Saturday, and this is the reason why. He was tasked to work on two central midfielders, and that is why I heard somebody say that Casado alone is like he had 4 breaks, 4 duels won in the same sequence at the same time. Yes. He was tasked with 2 central midfielders, while Sancho and Madueke positioned themselves to block central line or central lanes, but quickly jumped on to the wing backs of Westham when the ball went to them. This worked as Westham lacked any idea on how to break us down when they had possession, which resulted in long balls. Dear friend, I'll soon be letting you go. I believe you are following me. Now, after the second goal, after Chelsea's second goal, we sat back more in a 5-3-2. After Chelsea's second goal, very soon I'll get my touch screen. Yes. Keep supporting me. Like the video, share the video, spread the video, and hey, you can support by clicking on that. Is it dollar button or whatever it is? Yeah, show some love. Click on it, register, be a member. Every token will go a long way to help us. We want to build our studio to standard. We should have a touch screen where I can demonstrate some of these things on the screen for you to see, dear friends. All right. After the second goal, we sat back more in a 5-3-2, mid blocks. Yes, and one of Sancho or Madueke were tasked with joining the back line to form the 5-back. One of them would then join the midfield to form the 3-man midfield, while Jackson and Palmer continued as the 2 center forwards. Do you see that? Yes, Jackson and Palmer, they now continue as the 2 center forwards, moving forward, waiting for the ball. Overall, it was a very solid display of controlling a game without the ball. It's not perfect, but Maresca is already improving this seriously. And compared to his, Leicester City days, he has really improved. He himself, I believe, he sat back and he analyzed things from his previous club. I love that clip below. I cannot show it to you, dear friends, of every player busting their lungs out to come back and form that amazing block. When you watch the video, the way our players, second half especially, when the way our players, all of them try to fall back to form a block to defend together, then the central forwards, Kopama and Jackson, they are ever ready. They are always ready. Just itself is beautiful. Dear friends, my time is up. It was not all perfect. Sometimes Westham managed to bypass our midfield. Kudus managed to get past Enzo Cucurella, as you can see on your screen there now. But Kuku was quick to recover. Cucurella was quick to recover. One of the best things about Cucurella is how he's always right behind you. Right behind you. Even when you beat him. And Caicedo snaps it out. Caicedo snaps it out. Who was a beast? He was actually a beast in that game. He was handling 2 central midfielders from Westham. He was a beast. Caicedo was a beast in that game. Palmer and Jackson were also caught lacking sometimes. In the first instance, they were too passive and allowed. I cannot show the videos, unfortunately, because of copyright issue. This channel, we cannot afford to lose it now. And allow the opposition pick out Kudus, which result in 1 versus 1 in our box. Cucurella did great there. In the image, you can see right now, this image on your screen. In the image, they allow Bowen to easily sneak past them. And he gets the ball, but manages a wayward shot. Need to remain more alert defensively. Chelsea need to remain more alert defensively. Well, ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, is it Maresca genuineness? Is it a genius from Maresca? Do you call it a genius? Well, the best time in a game to know the tactical plans of a coach is in the first 15 minutes. The best time in a game to know the tactical plans of a coach is in the first 15 minutes of the game. Looking at this, it was quite obvious what West Ham wanted to do. They wanted to keep the ball in their own half, invite Chelsea to pressure and hit us on the transition. However, Chelsea pressed with a passive 4-4-2, with only stepping up to go man-to-man when we force them wide. And that really happens and why we explain later. In the early stages, West Ham planned to sit in a 5-4-1 position with mid-block when we had possession. This shape was meant to match our 3-2-5. They could match our forwards with their back line and even double up on our wingers with their wingers, joining their fullbacks. Oh yes. join the fullbacks. They use their two central midfielders in the middle to block our pivots and make it hard for Chelsea to progress the play. Dear friends, allowing Westham to gain numerical superiority in the first line, plus our passive nature in the press, showed that Maresca wanted them to progress the ball onto the center of the pitch. We were aggressive on this side of the pitch. Why? Well, remember, the numbers in football are equal. It's 11-11. If they have an extra player than us in their first line, we have an extra player somewhere else as well. We always had a +1 in defense or midfield, which allows us to block off central areas and win the ball several times. Essentially, it was a checkmate. Checkmate. You know when you're playing chess, it's a checkmate, right? Quickly, I'm concluding here. Something I also thought was interesting was that before we scored our second goal, it was obvious we were interested in keeping the ball. But once that second goal went in, we transitioned from 4-4-2 mid-block to a 5-3-2 mid-block. This forced them to commit more numbers forward and allowed them to push higher up the field. When we did gain possession again, we most often took the ball back to our own half, unless on transition, to force Westham on us to play through over them. They had no choice but to do that if they wanted a goal. They have no choice. If they want a goal, they are forced to do it. Maresca saw what was working, bind the idea of possession in their half, and it worked very well until we made our attacking substitutions. Yes, until we made our attacking substitutions. Westham could not break us down, and our method of chance creation was transitions and build-up. This is game management. This is game management, dear friend. I'll end it here. But quickly, one or two shout-outs. Sadiq Adeleke Sadiq says, "Good morning, Mr. Selon. You are number one. Continue enjoying your day. Up Chelsea." Big shout out to you also, Sadiq Adeleke Sadiq, my good friend out there. Big shout out to you. The next one says, "I heard Maresca praising Kudus. We might see him at Chelsea next summer." Harold Murike Stanley from Kenya. Big shout out to you out there, Harold Murike Stanley from Kenya. Big shout out to you. I'll be happy, more than excited to see Kudus in Chelsea. After all, we wanted to buy him before, but we did not progress with that negotiation last season. All right, the next one coming from Ibrahim Shola. He says, "Happy week. Happy new week. God bless you this new week." God bless you too, Ibrahim Shola. Big shout out to you out there. The same person, "Good morning." All right, guys. I'm exhausted. I'll be back with more exclusives and explosives in the coming hours. See you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me hear from you in the comment section. See you guys when you see me. Shalom and peace.